Armed bandits have targeted yet another suburban jewellery store in a daylight smash and grab that's left shoppers running in fright. The terrified jeweller fled out a back door as 4 masked men ransacked his shop.
Terrified shoppers ran for cover as the gang of 4 masked men smashed their way in through the locked door of the Malvern East store just before midday. Armed with crowbars and a hammer, they ransacked Jafari Jewellery's display cases. One bandit kicked his way into the back room where the store's petrified owner had been working.
I just leave. I go from the back door out. I just leave them.
Frightened traders and their customers locked themselves into neighbouring shops. Shaken shopper Christina is 38 weeks pregnant.
They ran past and ran in and said, lock the doors right now, and scared a bunch of people, but I was worried because there was a lady in there with a baby.
I was terrified. They ran towards me. I ran onto the street and hid behind a car because I wasn't sure if they were armed.
The gang loaded trays of jewellery into bags. Their haul included expensive rings and necklaces.
Police were unable to find any fingerprints inside the store, and they believe the bandits were targeting gold jewellery as it's easier to melt down.
These men come armed, they come with a purpose, so we're extremely lucky that no one has been injured.
We need some safety. We work very hard for it. They just come and rob you up.
The men fled the shop, smashing its front window as they left. Members of the Echo anti-gang task force were on scene and say the thieves escaped in a silver BMW sedan.
And Jackie Quist joins us now. Jackie, do police know anything more about the gang?
Well, Mitch, they believe this robbery was highly organised, and 7 News has been told that young men are being recruited and paid by criminal masterminds to conduct heists like this one. Now, this is the 2nd jewellery store robbery in Melbourne this week, the 10th this year. Mitch.
Thanks, Jackie.
Good evening. Another jewellery store has been robbed in the eastern suburbs during a terrifying smash and grab. 4 masked men stormed the Malvern East business armed with crowbars and hammers. Dougal Beattie with the story.
Not even a locked front door could prevent the hooded crew from getting inside. The 4 men using crowbars and a hammer smashed through the door, gaining entry to the Malvern East business. Within moments, the thugs are swinging wildly and kicking to casually break open the glass cabinets and grab the valuables. The terrified owner retreats to a back room as the thieves take their time ripping up the store and throwing gold and diamond jewellery into their bags. For around 2 minutes, the gang's rampage continues unchecked at 11:40 this morning. Once satisfied, the offenders walk to the door before delivering a parting blow to the shop front. Tamara Washington saw the men jogging towards her. She sheltered behind her car with her 3-year-old daughter.
I was terrified. They ran towards me. I ran onto the street and hid behind a car because I wasn't sure if they were armed.
The drama played out in front of Shop Cafe patrons on Burke Road, all alerted by the sound of smashing windows.
I really saw them face to face and I wasn't sure what to do. I was frozen.
Others telling bystanders to take cover as the group ran past.
Ran in and said, lock the doors right now, and scared a bunch of people, but I was worried because there was a lady in there with a baby.
Inside was store owner Mohammed Jafari.
I know they all cover their face and gloves and hammer in their hands, steel bar on their hands, from smashing the glass.
The owner was comforted by police after the traumatic encounter.
We need some safety. We work very hard for it. You know, day and night work in the bank, so it's hard. And they just come and rob you up.
Witnesses reported seeing a getaway car waiting for the men parked in a side street that then got into that vehicle and pulled out into traffic, turning right onto Burke Street. Police have released the footage of the men, hoping someone will recognise them in yet another smash and grab in the eastern suburbs.
It's a brazen attack, broad daylight, plenty of people walking up and down the street. They have no fear in relation to being seen on the way to or from the crime.
And we're live now to Dougal in Malvern East. Dougal, what's the latest on the manhunt?
Well, Pete, the men remain on the run. There have been no arrests so far, but I have been provided with a description of the gang by a witness. They say they are aged in their late teens to early 20s and are African in appearance. They were last seen driving a silver BMW sedan heading north along Burke Road towards the Monash Freeway. I'm also told the anti-gang task force is now investigating this crime to see if it is related to another similar aggravated armed robbery that happened on Tuesday at Waverley Gardens. Of course, if anyone recognises the men in this CCTV, they're being urged to contact Crime Stoppers. Pete?
Thank you, Dougal.